Okay, do or should you follow a denomination? Great question. Um, I think this actually ties into the series we're going through on First Corinthians, where we just talked about First Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10 through 17. This last Sunday in HM, where people in the Corinthians church were saying, "Oh, I follow Paul, I follow Apollos, I follow Peter," and they were like pledging allegiance to these men, these leaders, these ministries, or maybe their theological camp. And Paul, he actually condemns them for this. He says, he actually asks them a question in verse 13. He says, "Is Christ divided?" He says, "Was Paul crucified for you?" He asks him, like, "Were you baptized in the name of Paul?" And he's essentially saying, "No." Why are you guys so quick to place a denomination of a church, so to say, or a person or a pastor or theologian above Jesus as the one you follow or declare your allegiance to? And so I think if you're a follower of Jesus, you should declare Jesus as the one you follow. I personally don't call myself a non-denominational, whatever Christian. I just say I'm a follower of Jesus. I think that's the most clear, concise, and truthful way to identify yourself, is as a follower of Jesus. So, should a church denomination or a secondary doctrine ever become the core of your identity? No, Jesus should be. Now, do I think it's wrong to, say, be a part of a denomination, or say you um, align closest to like this particular denomination's beliefs or doctrine? No, I don't think that's wrong. I think it can be helpful when looking at a church to understand the denomination that they are, to understand, one, is it biblical? Two, does it align with my personal convictions, and will it be a place that I can maybe more freely worship Jesus? I don't think that's wrong. Um, Now, I do think God is saddened by how maybe divided the church is now today, with the uncountable amount of denominations that we have. I think God's saddened by that. Jesus, his prayer before he went to the cross was that we would be unified, we would be one. And so I think we need to be careful to not allow denomination titles to divide us as followers of Jesus. Also, in the end, I heard this said once. I was like, "This is so good." Like, God's going to take all denominations, all of his people, all of his children who are saved by Jesus. Doesn't matter what your doctrinal stance is, he's going to take all of them and he's going to bring them into his kingdom. We're going to walk through the gates of heaven, and we are all going to stand shoulder to shoulder worshiping him forever. And I think that picture helps bring some conviction, maybe, whether a denomination or Jesus greatest in your life.